everyone. I'm here with our feelings book, and there's a new feeling that I want to talk about with you today. The feeling is curious. Let's look at this page. See, I'll show you the picture and then I'll read it to you. Okay, let's see what it has to say. It says, my baby sister is curious. Have you ever seen a baby looking curious? My baby sister loves to learn about the world around her. With big eyes, she crawls around and explores. Whenever my sister is really curious, she uses her hands to touch things, uses her nose to smell things, and sometimes even puts things in her mouth. We have to watch out for that. Being curious helps us learn, and everybody knows that learning about new things is fun. Are you curious? Remember when we first started learning about plants and I said, what do you wonder? What do you want to learn about plants? I was asking you what you were curious about. Curious is when you wonder about something, when you want to know more about it. What are you curious about? I'm really curious about lots of things. One thing that I'm really curious about is there's a road near my house. It's kind of like a gravel road. And I want to know, it goes into the forest. It's a Forest Service road. If I go up that road, I want to know where it goes. What's up there? Are there other trails, other roads? Would it be a good place for riding my bike up that road? The last time I tried to go up that road, it got pretty snowy, so I had to turn around. I couldn't go too far. So I'm really curious to know what's up that road. The other thing I'm curious about is there's a trail near my house, and I've never hiked to the top of it yet. And I wanted to a few weeks ago, but guess what happened when I got close to the top? There was same thing. There was too much snow. There was still snow on the trail, so we couldn't keep going because it was packed and it was kind of slippery. So we turned around. But I'm really curious to find out what's at the top of that trail. I'm also really curious about outer space and planets. I'm curious to know more about plants and how they grow. And I know that plants need sunlight to grow, but I'm really curious to know if there's what kind of plants grow better in shade. And when I say plants, I'm thinking about vegetable plants that I might plant in a garden, because I have a pretty shady yard here in Idaho, and I'm really curious to learn more about some vegetables that I might be able to grow in a more shady area. So those are some things that I'm curious about. What are you curious about? What would you like to know more about? Could be anything. I'm also really curious about the brain and how the brain works and how the brain makes connections and learns new things. Really, there's so many things I can think of that I'm curious about. So I want you to think about it. I want you to think see if you can come up with at least 3 things that you're really curious about. And share those with someone in your family. What are you curious about? What do you wonder about? What do you want to learn more about? Okay, thanks for joining me.